Ishtar is the name of goddess of love, and Ishtar is also the name of magic voice, a magic voice that performs in Vancouver on Friday, June 21st, and Ishtar and the band that called Alabina will be performing on stage of Queen Elizabeth Theatre Friday, June 21st, and right now France and magic voice of Ishtar. Ishtar, good evening and good morning in Vancouver.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Welcome to our show. It's a pleasure to hear your magic voice. Cannot wait for June 21st. I know you've been to Vancouver before, and it was the same theater in Natus, I believe. What do you remember about Vancouver?
Wow, it's amazing because when I speak about Canada, I always remember Vancouver as first it was a festival. When I was there the last time, was a festival. I remember a very cultural happening. That's a lot of concerts there. It was very warm comparing to the weather in Toronto or whatever, Montreal. But really, it was something very, very light in the air. I remember it was like a festival. Always a kind of ambiance of a festival of music, and a lot of people, art surrounding the world that comes there. So and then I guess that's right what I felt, because people told me that there is a lot of festivals happening in Vancouver. So yes, I have a very, very good souvenir from there, and I'm very happy to come back.
And you know what's interesting? I was reading about you, and I know your songs from Natus, and I didn't even realize those songs are yours. And then this is magic voice, what you have, and I know that so many people will be on stage together with you performing, and it's always live. Like so many world stars performing, they playing basically playback on a stage, right? And they just pretending like they perform. And you're as a superstar. It's there's opinion. It's not difficult to be the star. It's more hard to stay popular and for people to love you for so many years. People love you, and it's amazing. You're very unique. Nobody like you. And wow. as you mentioned, so many people go to your concerts, and let's say politicians, they're trying to divide maybe people in different countries. And when I see people buying tickets to your concerts, it's people from Iran, people from Israel, people from France, from Germany, from Russia, from Ukraine, from different country. What's the secret? How can you unite all those people? How you do it?
Wow. First, thank you for everything you said. Well, I think there is no magical receipt, I think my music talks for itself. I like people. I'm considering myself as a citizen of the world, and I like to hug people no matter where they come from, what their religion, what their age, what their culture. I think with music, what's amazing and the magical with music, especially when I do what I do, especially that I have musicians from different cultures and different religions. I think that the most important thing is to love, to respect, and to be happy. And those values have no religion. So if you understand those 3 points in life, I think first you don't have problems because you're not in stress, you're not worried, and I really love people, and I don't care if people come to see me, they are Jewish, they are Muslim, they are Christian, Hindu or whatever. As soon as they have this love, this respect to the other, of the person that is different from them, as soon as they have this happiness and one target, it's love. That's always. I'm not the one the only one who believes in this thing that love will save the world. Many artists and many politicians say that before me, like centuries before, and I really believe that love really will save the world. And you can see it through the concerts. You can see it through, even countries that I travel to, and the respect. No matter if I was born in Israel, if I live in France, if I'm Jewish, if I'm Egyptian, my mother, no matter where you come from, I really, I'm very a curious person. I like to learn. And I think that even we are 80 years old, we still have something to learn in this world. So just, I have advice to people that just look around you, don't judge others, because, when you see somebody who's different from you, remember that it's a reflection of side in you that you not even discover. That's what I really believe, that the other person that in front of me, even if he's very different from me, I believe that he has something to teach me, and I'm willing to learn. And by that, you become very rich, and you learn that the devil is not that bad. I mean, when I'm saying devil, sometimes people say, oh my God, because you have a politician opinions or whatever. I believe that when you travel and when you love and when you don't judge and when you have respect, the universe bring it back to you. And, that's what I believe.
Ishtar, I think many jealous to how much you learned during your lifetime, because you're a young person, but you already know Arabic, Hebrew, you sing in Bulgarian also, French, Spanish, English, and Russian just now.
Yes, and I sing in Russian, but I have my best friend and my agent, she's Russian. And she wrote the lyrics, and since like 15 years, I go back and forward to Moscow. I have friends there. I was invited in a very big TV show, and I met, of course, Nikolai Baskov. I met Kirkorov, and I have other friends, are very important, politically. So first, it's a big pleasure for me to travel and to be invited by those amazing artists that are very respectful there. And it was a big chance for me to sing in a language that I don't even speak. I don't understand. It was like a trip, Every time I sing a song, it's a trip. And when I sing in Russian, I had another song in Russian called Lipiski. Lipiski Is
it?
But
it's just by yourself or with another famous Russian?
It's another song. It's an original song. And I love languages. I love people. I like to learn. I do speak 5 languages. I speak 2 different Arabic. I read and write, and I speak Hebrew, and I speak English and French. I remember that when I was in Moscow, I had a TV show, and then the journalist, wanted to interview me after this song that I sang with Baskov, and he started to speak with me in Russian, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't speak Russian. He said, if you sing that way, you should speak Russian. So it was like a compliment that I really like to have those kind of experience with languages.
Yeah, there's almost no accent. By the way, in 90s, Philip Kirkorov, and he's most famous in Russia as a male singer.
Yes.
He had album. He had entire album, and that album, most of the songs of that album were actually your songs in Russian. Did you hear how he sings your songs? Did you listen to that album?
Tell you the truth, I was invited to his. I think it was the birthday, Nikolai Baskov's birthday, and Kirkorov was there, so we spoke. We even think to do something together, and I unfortunately didn't went up. No, but I think I heard
Salma, yeah, and one of the songs, yes.
Yes.
Is it funny?
Yeah.
Like, how do you?
No, he's a huge artist.
How do you?
I have a big respect to Kirkorov. Yes.
What do you? Because they say you have to live in a country to feel the culture, and in his case, they say so many critics, and they say, well, he's not as good as Ishtar. And when you listen to that song, how he sings, what do you think?
No, I believe that each artist brings something from his own universe. I don't like to compare. I think each artist has his touch, and if an artist feels to do something, definitely has. First, it's very flattering that a big artist like Kirkorov, take a song or whatever. But I really believe that he's unique. I mean, and I will not be able to sing Salama, for example, like your girls, so each one has his own touch. I really have a big respect, and it's just the fact that it's flattering. Maybe one day I will take one of the songs of Kirkorov, you know.
Ishtar,
yeah, why not?
today in Israel, everybody's talking about the Eurovision Song Contest. Unfortunately, Canada doesn't take a part in this song contest, but we know that Australia is already in this in Eurovision. Today, Eurovision started in Tel Aviv, and do you have any, like, what do you think about this Eurovision and the entire show?
Concert?
And concert.
Well, you know, when I was a child, when I was youngest, I remember it was like a national holiday. Like everybody were inside the house. We prepared cakes, we prepared drinks like tea. Friends, family came to the salon. We prepare ourselves really to see the contest of the Eurovision. A few years ago, I think like 10 or even more, the Eurovision was a little bit just disappeared. Mm-hmm. And then it came back. And a lot of countries like Russia or like Ukraine or Moldova that were not when I was young, you know, when I was a child, and the contest now came. And I think that the contest become very, very large, very rich, with a very, very huge different and a choice over different music. It's a great fun to look at it. Really, it's completely different because at that time each country used to sing in their own language.
Yes, today English.
And today everybody sings in English, and I was really shocked to see. I don't remember. I'm not going to say which country, okay? Mm-hmm. But it was amazing to see people that sing in English. Why? I mean, and they don't speak the language. I mean. Okay, when I do like I did, I was not like the song that I sing in Russian. I don't speak Russian, but it was like a trip, as I said.
Yes.
I didn't represent a country, but when you represent a country, I think that we are missing something. I think that each country still. I love the Eurovision. I'm going to look at it tonight and next week. But I believe that, and I really would prefer to hear a song in the language of each country, because it represents the country. It's not just if you just do it as an artist and you like me, like I sing in Russian, I sing in Bulgarian. It's okay. It's my choice. I represent me as an artist. But when you represent a country, a nation, I don't know. I would like to hear the language of the country. So. That's the only thing I can tell, but definitely the Eurovision is wow. It's a big wow comparing to the old time, because the show is different. It's a lot of it's a big show. That's, you know, when the beginning of the Eurovision, like I'm talking about the 80s, it was really just a song, and it was not the show. Today is really a show. When you see it, it's a show.
Yeah, and I just think what you just mentioned about all the same, that's true, because Sweden and Greece, there's two teams, one in Sweden, one in Greece, and they work for different countries each year, and Azerbaijan, Russia, and other countries order those teams to write the song, and basically those managers and producers from other countries help other countries to win. As you mentioned, it will be a huge show, but we are waiting for your show. I know that so many performers will be on stage here in Vancouver, and as I was talking to producer of this the producer of this show here in Vancouver, yes. He says because he had Modern Talking just recently, and he says, oh, Modern Talking is nothing. We were impressed. There's so many musicians on stage, as I mentioned before. Usually you have one, two performers, but here are so many. And he says, wait for Alabina. Alabina will have way many more, and Ishtar brings so many musicians with her.
Yes, we are actually going to be like in between 18 and 20 on stage.
Wow.
But the most important thing, you know, it's also the musicians, because you have this kind of a family energy that's happening on stage. But the most important thing is the energy that we bring through to the audience, and what we we got back. Definitely concerts of Alabina, and it's a lot of energy, a lot of fun. It's a big fiesta. It's a big happiness. There is a lot of rhythm. People won't sit. People just stand and dance. There is a lot of songs from the beginning, the first years of Alabina. We travel all around, all through the 20 years of Alabina that we travel all around the world. There's a new song that's going to be performed on stage. There's a lot of love that we are willing to share with the audience, really, and a lot of freedom, of course.
Can you a few words about...
Forget everything, leave all the problems at home, take the baggage, put them in the luggage, and throw it back to the beach, to the sea, to the swimming pool, to your bathroom, or whatever, and you come light. People have to come very, very light, hungry to have the fun and forget about all the troubles, because you're going to forget, really.
So it's some kind of group therapy, basically. Basically, you don't need psychologists, you don't need anybody. Ishtar, many times...
You travel.
Travel to different countries. As I understand, will be songs in Arabic, in Hebrew, in different languages. English, right? French?
Yes. Spanish, yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we actually... Yes?
About name, here's a question we have via radio or Skype, and asking why Ishtar, why Alabina? Is there a special meaning for, let's say, for Alabina? Why is Alabina? Why not called differently band that you perform with?
Well, Alabina, when we first, when I started to take part of Alabina, when we built the group was in the 97 and the end of the 90s, and the big hit of Alabina, we were not prepared at all to make a big hit, but it made a big hit all over the world, was the name of the song Alabina. So we called the group Alabina, and it was formed by me, Ishtar, and Los Niños de Sara. Now, Ishtar, my name is Esther, and Ishtar and Esther is a Persian queen and goddess of love and fertility. It's almost the same personality of the Jewish history, like of Esther. So I choose this name also because my grandmother used to call me Ishtar with her accent, Egyptian accent. And Alabina is the name of the group. So I know that people call me Alabina and there is a little confusion, but it's okay. I do answer to Alabina, and I do answer when the people call me Ishtar. So it's okay.
And what's interesting in nineties, I don't know if you know about it, but I remember reading newspaper, and at that time in nineties, Madonna suddenly, American singer Madonna, who will be performing now in Israel at Eurovision, she suddenly was interested in Kabbalah, Jewish religion, or what is that, Kabbalah, and she picked Jewish name Ishtar, Esther, yeah, and everybody was saying, Esther, because she's jealous to you, and I found it really, really interesting.
And you know what? It's the first time I'm going to tell. It's not a secret, but I really wanted to do a surprise. But Vancouver now, if ever somebody here, everybody who hear now this interview, I'm going to sing a song of Madonna.
Really?
That I had the authorization. I'm not going to tell you which one. I had the authorization from her, written by her hand, that she allowed me to do and to write this song, because I'm going to sing it in Arabic.
Wow, and I'm looking forward for June 21st. This is such an interesting, and there's many people would like to go to the concert just to hear the song. I'm sure there's so many surprises, and
it's a very, very nice, and it's a very nice number, really, on stage.
When last time you went to Canada?
I think it was in 2014. I had a concert in Montreal and in Toronto as well, or 13 or 14. I think it was 14 as well. Yeah, but not Vancouver. And I remember I was only one time, and I always spoke about Vancouver, and I always said I would like to go back there, because it was really an ambience of, as I said, of a festival in the air. I don't know. I have great souvenir from there, and you see, I come back. So
we cannot wait to see you.
Somebody hear my wishes.
Thank you very much, Alabina. We'll see you on a stage of Queen Elizabeth Theatre on Friday, June 21st. And
yes,
if anybody would like to get tickets,
I'd like to meet you. See you there.
And we'll show you Vancouver more than, it's different city, completely different. Last 20 years, so many changes you will not recognize it. And maybe you would like to stay here. Who knows? Thank you very much for being with us. And
thank you.
It's a pleasure talking to you. Alabina, thank you very much. AlabinaUSA.com. It's a website where you can purchase tickets to the concert, Alabina Live in Concert on stage of Queen Elizabeth Theatre, Friday, June 21st. You can also go to our website, veracanada.fm, magic promo code Radio Vera, and you will get 10% off.